Just wanted to show you my bad RV toilet. Um, what happened was I didn't get all the water blown out of all the lines last year, and uh, this particular fitting must have had some water in it, and it froze up and busted. So we were without a toilet our first camp out, but it was not a big deal. I mean, we still had the toilet, but what I mean to say is we were without water. We could still use the toilet because I would pour water from a bucket to flush it. Now, I know a lot of these things are gross to some people, but as a repairman, you get used to this kind of thing, and you just do what you got to do, and you get through it. Make sure you sanitize things and wash your hands good, scrub them good, and you go to the next project. Well, anyway, I want to show you here where it busted. Our water line connects to this thread here. And right here, where this seam is here, that crack, that is not supposed to be there. That's what froze up and busted. And when I first hooked the water, well, I actually filled up our tank and I turned the water pump on, and it just comes spraying out of this all the way around because it's cracked all the way around. And I had a major flood, about 5 gallons of water on the floor before I got the pump shut down. But anyway, I'm going to show you what happens when you don't get everything out. That's typically how I winterize. And this particular RV has been winterized like that for the last 4 years. Never any problems, but I had a problem this year. So, lesson learned, I'm going to disconnect the water line after I blew water out so that there's no residual in these fittings. Okay, that's it for this one. Here we are in another repair that I got myself into, or rather, circumstances got me into. It's our RV, our camper, and we had a major leak. First camp out and found out the toilet froze up and busted through the winter, and found that out the hard way. So, but anyway, I ordered the toilet, and it's a Tedford, which is a major RV brand. I wanted to get something reputable, and I pulled the old toilet a couple days ago before I discovered I could make videos again. And I wish I hadn't, because I wanted to do a full how-to tutorial to replacing an RV toilet. It's actually very, very simple and super easy for handyman, somebody handy with tools. There's only 2 bolts, a flange, water line, and the toilet is light. It's easy to replace, and there is no wax ring like you would see under a household toilet. So these RVs have a rubber flange, well, a rubber gasket, should I say, and not a wax ring, which seals the toilet to the plumbing, the drainage pipe. But anyway, I'll try to get this set up and show you the old toilet, the new toilet, and we'll go from this step already. I've actually, today I cleaned up, and you can see the toilet flange is not in the greatest shape. It's rusty, but it's not rusted through or nothing, so I'm going to keep it. I've cleaned up the floor quite a bit in preparation, and this is a problem I've had ever since we bought the camper, I just never dealt with it. But the linoleum is coming up along the edge behind the toilet. Well, I kind of figured out today why that's happening. There's another repair I got to make up on the roof. It doesn't leak real bad, but it needs to be tended to. Anyway, it's kind of leaked down along the wall a little bit, and that'll be another repair I'll try to keep you in on. But anyway, I'll show you how I'm going to fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. I've decided, since I'm going to replace this floor sometime this year or next year with a laminate wood floor, I'm just going to take my staple gun and just staple this linoleum down in a couple spots to keep it down for now. Easy fix, just temporary, but it will work, I hope. Let's see here. I know it's not pretty, but it's just a temporary solution, and we'll really make it look nice when we put a new floor in. But for right now, it's going to have to be good enough, and it did work, and it's behind the toilet. Nobody will see it when it's all done, so I'll come back with you here in a minute. Here's the old toilet, and here's the new toilet. And just to let you know, it was just a bit over $150 for toilet, and there's nothing to it. I mean, it's plastic and very lightweight. Couldn't weigh more than 4 pounds, 5 pounds, but this is typically what they use in RVs. So I'll get back. Wanted to show you the typical hardware kit that comes with these. Not much to them. If you've ever worked on a toilet, you'll be real familiar with it. Oops. Have a couple new flange bolts and nuts to go on. And, oh, I sure had a bad camera angle there. Okay, let's get down to it, guys. Pretty easy. We're going to take these old flange bolts out, and the way these are designed, you can put them in one end, and on the other end it's designed to hold it. So I'll try to get you a picture of that before I actually do all the work here, but pretty standard flange for plumbing industry. We're going to toss some old bolts. We're going to put some new bolts in. Here we go. Pretty quick and dirty. You slip them in that wide end, and you move them around there to the more narrow end so they can't turn. Hopefully. Anyway, we're going to get her down like that. We'll make sure our flange surface is relatively flat. Nothing, a little bit of crud there. And yeah, I'm old school. I don't wear gloves. I know everybody's scared of germs and things nowadays. I don't like to get things on their hands, but I'm just one of them guys that never did wear gloves. I can't feel much with gloves on, so I've never worn them. Even when I was doing work like on cars and things, and still do occasionally, I don't wear gloves. I just do it and make sure everything's sanitized when I get done with the job. Okay, let's go get the new toilet. We're almost ready to put her down here. Give me a minute. And here we go. I think what I'm going to do is probably put that rubber seal on the bottom of the toilet first. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to make sure it's centered and that it's got a good seal. It's probably the smartest thing to do in the case of a rubber type seal. That way you make sure that you're sealed and you don't cut the seal or crimp it or anything crazy. So anyway, this toilet's pretty easy. The bolt holes, one's to the left, one's to the right. We'll see if we can wiggle this thing on there. Takes a bit of finessing. You just got to get the bolt in the right position. Sometimes that doesn't happen easily. Oh, there we go. That side went down. Now we'll get to this one and try to wiggle it down. Oh, that went down a lot easier. And now that we're on our bolts, we're gonna put the nuts on there to try to get our toilet kind of stabilized. For the moment, we're not going to tighten the bolts yet. We're just going to snug them down with our fingers because we still have a water line to put on here, and we want to make sure that we got flexibility to put our line on, because you want to do that. Make sure that you get that lined up right before you tighten these bolts down. Okay, now that's snug. And let's see if I can, I guess you might be able to see that. Hopefully. The line just pulls straight up, and It screws on to the bottom of it. The toilet fixture here. If I can get her lined up right and get it started right. Yeah, I think it is. Oh, nope. But we will get it. There's not a whole lot of room in these little bathrooms to work. And if you're a big man, there's a lot less room. We'll hold on here just a minute. Sweating up a storm. I'm going to take my glasses off and wipe my face. I typically like a fan running while I'm working, but today I don't have that. Trying to do this right. I'm not getting her lined up very well. For some reason. Being a little ornery. And sometimes that's the way it goes. But you always work through it. If you're a mechanic, you know how things go. They're never perfect. And when you're working upside down and like behind things, things are a little hard to get to and to line up right. But I think I got her started. And well, yeah, I think we're pretty good now. It did finally line up right. And we're going to tighten them bolts down. Should be good. Now I believe that's a 1/2 inch wrench size. Just out of remembrance here. And what we're going to do is tighten them flange bolts down now, which will sturdy up our toilet and give us the rigidity we need. And, sorry, I'm breathing hard a little bit. Sometimes I get a bit winded nowadays. I'm a little older and my lungs are not as good as they used to be. Now these flange bolts, we're going to turn this toilet a little bit because I want to keep her straight. These flange bolts, you don't want to tighten them down, torque them down like some gorilla. You just want to snug them down tight to where the toilet does not wiggle. And then it'll be solid to sit on. And I'm working blind here. I'm just feeling where the bolt and nut is, and putting a wrench on it and tightening it, so it's kind of a slow procedure. If I was in a bigger bathroom, I could kneel down next to it and probably do it a little quicker, but this one I don't have that luxury. Whew. We're gonna wipe this off a little bit. I know I tend to babble sometimes, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. Now, before we go to tighten this second bolt down, I just want to make sure the toilet was straight. And because a crooked toilet will work, but it ain't pretty. And you should always try to make things look as good as you can. Let's get this dude tighten down. And got less room over here. Sorry, I know it's taking a little while, and that's probably a lot of noise for those that may be annoyed with it. We're about done. Almost there. I can only turn these these nuts about half a turn at a time, so it takes a while. That's kind of snug. Feels good. And yeah, they're plastic. They got a little bounce to them. But they're not like your ceramic toilets. We're going to hook this line up. Or not hook it up, tighten it up. And what I'm going to do is just use a set of old pliers on it, because it's got one of them kind of fittings that have some ridges on it, so it's not intended for a wrench. And with these lines also, you don't want to crank them down. They don't need to be super tight. They just need to be where you can seal the gasket in it. And this particular toilet doesn't have as much room back here as the old one did, so a little more difficult, but not bad. I think that's going to be about it. Yeah. She's pretty snug, I think. And I think I just want to maybe put a couple more turns on them flange bolts before we put some water in. I just don't want to crank them down enough that you crack the toilet or nothing crazy like that. You can't tighten these as much as you can a household toilet that is ceramic. Like I said, these plastic toilets are pretty much standard in most of the campers. The toilets, the sinks, the bathtubs, the shower basins, they're all plastic. There we go. I think I like that better. And no, they're not as sturdy as your toilet in your house. It's because they're lightweight. They don't have anything to weight them down, and that's pretty much it. That's a new toilet, and I'll bring you back whenever we can get some water in the camper. Okay? Okay, folks, we got some water in the freshwater tank, and we're going to test this dude out. I got a switch here in the bathroom. I can't remember if it'll turn the main on or I have to go turn the main on first, but we're going to give it a shot real quick. Goes nothing. Well, I don't see or hear anything leaking. Not sure what's going on. I think the kitchen sink is open. Hold on just a sec. I think I didn't get enough water in the tank, probably. But we're going to give this a... There we go, how about that? Yep, we got water in it. Looks like she's working great. This toilet's got a pedal in front, and our old toilet had a pedal on the side, or had actually a switch lever on the side that you worked with your hand, and I wanted to try out the pedal in the front. So that's a style of toilet we got. Let me go back here, since we got water in the lines and everything, make sure everything's tight and not leaking. Seems like everything's good. Nothing around the toilet. Nothing around the line. I think we're going to call this good. And this is a successful RV toilet replacement. See you on the next one.